As you know, I've always said that when you want to buy a carpet, the most important thing is to choose the one that you really like. That's first and foremost. After that, people want to know, okay, what is the difference? What am I paying for? Paying a lot more for a carpet doesn't necessarily mean you're getting a better carpet. In terms of value for money, I've got these two pieces. This Nepalese one has come in for cleaning. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you what the difference is. This is produced by one of the leading producers of Nepalese rugs. They have branches all over the world. They do beautiful carpets, really good quality. They have famous designers designing the carpets for them. So I'm not trying to compare two that are very different. Top of the market with something that we produce ourselves. This is produced in Nepal. This one is produced in Iran by ourselves. Okay, let's look at the first thing. If you notice, when I walk on this, it leaves marks. You can see my footprints, or you can see the wool moving and leaving a shadow on it. With this one, however much you walk on it, and it's not just because of the color, it won't leave any sort of mark. The difference is this is used high quality wool, but machine spun. This is hand spun wool. The other thing, if you look at this, looks very flat and very even. And that is because, again, it's machine made wool, machine spun wool, but with this one you've got hand spun wool. Now with machine spun, it's all sort of sitting up really nicely, spun very uniformly, almost exactly the same. The hand spun, there's going to be little differences in the thickness. It gives you that 3D effect that you get with hand spun, and that little bit of difference, it gives it a lot more character. It doesn't have that flat look. It has a really depth to it. Now, looking at it again a bit more closely, in terms of weave, it's very difficult to see the weave on this, but they're very similar. This is probably finer. And if you look, I don't know, you probably can't see, but this has no wefts, okay? It's only warp. This one, if I can show you, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this has a weft running through it. Now, you might want to know what difference that makes. When you have a weft, it really separates the two rows of knots and makes it stronger and sturdier. It will be much longer lasting than the one that doesn't have a weft. The other thing is knotting. Again, when I opened it, I don't know if you noticed or not, the knotting in Nepalese goods are done with, it's a totally different kind of knotting. Now, the quality of the knotting is nowhere as good as what you can see here. Again, I don't know if you can see it. You can actually see the knot here. You can see a proper knot that is being done. Now, that again goes into the fact that you will have a sturdier rug. And this, after a while, what will happen is that if it has especially a lot of pattern, it will look a bit wishy-washy. This, as it gets older, because it's hand spun, this the wool becomes even tighter and tighter after many years, and it will become quite velvety. You know how soft this is? That will be even softer, but like a velvety soft. These are the things that's going to make the difference in the long term, because especially if you're buying a rug as an investment, it is the longer outlook of the value that one should keep in mind. And I'm not suggesting you should buy it for that, but for people who are very much looking at prices and what it should look like, what may happen to the price in the future. The other thing that you should look at is the dyeing. This is all chemical dyeing. This is all natural dyeing. Although you may not be able to see the color clearly, in fact it has a very slight color in this, apart from the turquoise that you can see, which is actually silk. but the depth that you can see in the color, I don't know if it shows up in the video or not, but there is a real depth of color in this. And this, while it's very pretty, it is actually, the color is, comparatively speaking, is dead. And that's with rugs, that is how you can see the difference. Putting them next to each other, and then these small points being pointed out to you, which may seem small to you, but in the longer term, these are what determine the future value of a rug. I hope that helps you to understand a very tiny bit about the world of Oriental rugs, the value, how they're made, and what difference it makes. Thank you.